That is the only freedom that we have. To be located either close to the center or at the outer peripheries. There is no other freedom. The center is always a pull. But the pull works almost like magnetic or electrostatic force. The magnitude of the pull is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between you and the center, which means that as you keep slipping away from the center, your ability to be influenced by the pull diminishes not only linearly but actually exponentially. At a distance of 2 units from the center, the magnitude of the pull would have reduced to a quarter. If you are at a distance of 1 unit, and the pull 2 is 1 unit, then if you double your distance from the center, the pull won't just halve down, it would actually be reduced to a quarter, 2 raised to the power 2. And if you move away 3 units, then it would be diminished by 9 times, not 3 times. Which is both good news and bad news, because the pull not only diminishes but also correspondingly increases in the same exponential fashion. Move away and you are rapidly diminishing your own chances of being centered. Come closer and you are rapidly increasing your own chances. The highlight is on the word rapidly. Rapidly. So, it happens at a pace, at a rate that is far greater than you assume. You do a little and the consequence is much more. In your own little intelligence, you probably decide to increase the distance only by a little more. But what you lose is not just a little, but a lot more. Are you getting it? you would probably console yourself. You would say, oh, I haven't really traveled away a lot. 1 unit to 2 unit is just a nominal increase. It is not just nominal. Your ability to now experience the field has diminished by a lot. And now please look at the consequence. Even when you were at a distance of 1 unit from the center, the force upon you was not strong enough to prevent you from sliding away further, was it? It was not strong enough. That is why the distance increased from 1 to 2. Even at 1 unit distance, stability was not there, security was not there. Situations had the power to make you drift away. That was when you were relatively closer. And now, in your complacence, you decide to even magnify the distance, and from 1 you have gone to 2. Even at 1 you were vulnerable, that is why you slipped to 2. Now think of what your situation is when you are located at a distance of 2 units. See how much more vulnerable you are, and your vulnerability has not just doubled, it has quadrupled. So, if at 1 you slip to 2, now from 2 you will slip to not 3 sir, probably 4, probably 8, and from 8 64. This is how it operates. Because most of us live in the intellect. So, I have just tried to create some kind of a mathematical model. I hope that will tell you about the great responsibility of using the only great freedom that we have, and that great freedom is about choosing our location. You have that freedom. You can decide to be located here, or you can decide to be located elsewhere. Are you getting it? Now, because we are on to such models that deal with forces and distance and closeness, I will take it a little further. How to do that? I would have loved to have some kind of a model here, a physical model. I will use that paper pen. Visible to everybody? If not, come closer. Come closer, Babita. Hirenji, visible? Otherwise, please be here. Hmm? This is the peak that we all seek. This is the peak that we all seek. We find ourselves here, and because this peak is our nature, our destiny, we want to be there. This peak is another name for the greatest achievement that can be there in life and death. Are we not all achievers? Don't we all like achievements? This peak represents the greatest achievement that there can be. One starts from here, then here, then here. The peak calls. The peak is an attraction, the peak pulls. Are you getting it? But just as there is the pull of this peak, there is also another force that does not want you to reach the peak. That force is always pulling you down. It does not want you to keep climbing up. Most people are contented with staying somewhere here. They say that even if we achieve, our achievements are all right in this zone. So, they move from here to here and here to here, here to here and back. Rare are those who decide to take matters more sincerely, more solemnly, and keep traveling all the way up. This is analogous. This is analogous to the journey towards the center that we just talked of. Right? You could take this to be the center, or you could represent it with a P, meaning a peak, or you could call it an A, representing achievement. If you have travelled to this distance towards the center, and then if you choose to give up, mind you, I am again reminding you of the only freedom that you have. That freedom is about choosing your location. You travel this way up, and because there is a resisting force, you feel tired. Under the influence of that tiredness, if you decide to give up, you slide back, and all the potential that you had gained so far in traveling up to here now turns back upon you. When you go back, you won't settle only at this place. Now, you know what is going to happen? If you slide back from here, you are going to go even backwards. You would probably come to rest somewhere here. That is the danger in the spiritual path. Do not start if you do not intend to go all the way, because if you start and give up in between, then you are going to end up quite badly. The movement towards the center should be as unidirectional as possible. You cannot keep dithering, because if you go back, you do not go back just by the distance by which you came forward, you go back even further. The fellow was here, he climbs up till here, and when he loses it, he finds himself here. His own effort turns upon him. That is what happens with so many seekers of wisdom, so many seekers of truth and peace. After years of effort and practice, they find themselves in a position worse than they started from. Getting it? Also, what happens to those who come very close to the peak and then slip? What happens to those who come quite close to the peak and then use their freedom to slip? If you intend to slip, don't even come close. And if you have started coming close, better be cautious that you don't slip, because if you now slip, you are going to meet a very bad fate. Are you getting it? Don't be in the inner circle. The inner circle is a dangerous place. It is the greatest of opportunities and it is the biggest of threats. Because if the inner circle fails, then there is no opportunity for you. This is the closest, this is the best, this is the highest. No bigger opportunity could have been there. This is the medicine of the highest potency, and if even the medicine of the highest potency fails upon you, then you know that you are left with no hope. I am inviting you to be close, and I am letting you know in advance the dangers of closeness. If you slip, you find yourself somewhere in the 5th notebook. That is why the Upanishads, many other scriptures tell in advance the kind of readiness that is needed before you read even the first word. They say, unless you are very sincere, don't read us, don't touch us. They say, unless you know a certain detachment from the world, don't touch us. They say, unless you know a little surrender, don't touch us. You will be harming yourself greatly if you read us without preparing yourself duly. Prepare yourself first, cleanse yourself, and only when you are in the right state of mind, come to us. Otherwise, so as you sit here and as you feel like coming to the inner circle, know that it is both an opportunity and a responsibility. Clear?
look at something closer, it starts becoming more and more complex. So that's one of the reasons that a simple person says now it's getting tough.
Yes, yes. You see, from a distance, you anyway do not know the truth. From a distance, you anyway do not know the truth. So, what you are attracted by is anyway not the truth. What attracts you then towards the center? The image of the center. From a distance, it is not really the truth that attracts you. From a distance, it is only the image of the truth that attracts you. That is also one of the reasons why the saints and the prophets have sung gloriously of the truth, because the common man anyway does not have a real touch with the truth. How would then he be attracted? So that he may be attracted, the truth has been represented and sung of in magnificent terms, as if it is the most attractive and delectable object that you can ever find. They say truth is bright, they say truth is your lover, they say truth is the greatest reliever, they say truth is the cleanest entity possible, the truth consists of all colors, the truth is merciful. Don't they say all these things about the truth? Well, the truth really indeed is quality-less, nirgun. The truth can show no mercy to anybody. The truth has no colors. The truth is not sweet. It is not bitter either. The truth is none of that which attracts you to the truth. Still the saints have gone on to sing of the truth as if it were such a great attraction. It is so that you at least start the journey. If they do not say all those things, you will find no reason to start your journey. You will say, I am good as I am and I see nothing attractive in God. Why should I move towards godliness? So, from a distance, the image attracts. This fact is not very palatable to the ego. Because we want to believe that even from a distance we know the truth. And then it is humbling, rather humiliating to hear that we know neither the truth nor the teacher. All that we have of the truth or the teacher is an image. And the image is important, let us not deny that. Image is important to at least commence the journey. As you keep coming closer, as the distance keeps reducing, the image keeps getting corrected, modified. You could even say that the image keeps getting dissolved. So, you do not quite get what you wanted. You do not quite see what you aimed to see. And the fissiparous forces are still there. Just as there is an inward pull, there are forces of situations, forces of the world that are influencing an outward pull upon you. So, the outward pull is there, and added to that is your disappointment at not getting what you asked for, not getting what you had thought of. These two forces can combine very viciously and in a very potent way, and they can take you away. So, coming close is always a threat, dangerous, and never a guarantee of covering the remaining distance. Heaven is not at all like what you think of it. Not even a particle of soil is at all like what you think of it. Then how can truth or God be like what you think of them? They are beyond conceptualization, beyond thought, beyond us. But we are very stubborn beings. We do not spare anything from our touch. Even regarding the most sacred, the highest, we have some image. The mind is very, very obstinate and deceptive. If you tell the mind, do not have an image, it will take the no image as an image. And that is why all the saints and gurus and prophets have failed to a great extent. In spite of all their warnings and teachings, the mind does what it does. They keep telling you not to have an image, they keep telling you not to make idols, they keep telling you to be very wary of thought, they keep telling you to not to be too clever, but still we do that. We do that, and then that imperils nobody else but us. The more you expect something from the truth, the deeper is your tendency to make an image of the truth, the deeper will be your disappointment, because the truth will not conform to your image. So, as you commence this camp, kindly be very, very keen on citing your own expectations. Be careful, especially those who belong to the inner ring. What you will see from a point of closeness is not at all what you had expected to see. And that will be the moment when you will have all the motivation to run away. Because the mind does not trust God. When you do not trust God, then you trust just anything and anybody. God is the only one who would not ask you for a compensation. I'll keep using these words interchangeably. The center, the core, truth, God, the heart. So don't try to read too much into their meanings. Whenever you will depend on somebody, that somebody will always ask for a prize to support your dependence. Nobody will support you for free. Why will they not support you for free? Because they themselves need support. God is the only one who does not need any support. He is his own support. Outside of himself, he needs no other agency. Outside of himself, there is no other agency. But we want to take support of this and that, and the this and that we rely on are anyway small beings who are themselves looking for some pillar of support. How will they be able to offer you anything without a payment, anything unconditionally? They will impose conditions on you, and those conditions then strangulate you. Those conditions become your own limitations. If somebody offers you love, don't you see it is always with a certain condition? If somebody offers you work or money or salary or prestige or recognition, it is always with strings attached. And you cannot blame them, because they are just as little or as big as you are. If you need others' support, obviously others also need others' support. That is why it is not at all wise to depend on the world. The world itself is a very dependent entity. To depend upon the dependent cannot be wise. The wise man or the wise woman depends upon the one who is worth depending upon. Truth is the only one you can totally, absolutely depend upon. When everybody else will come and seek your forgiveness for deserting you, the truth would still be by your side. By your side, that is too much of a distance. The truth would still be in your heart. The truth will never forsake you. Others, even if they are well-meaning, even if their intention is good, at some point you will see that they have become helpless. They cannot support you any further. They cannot support you any further. They will keep dropping by. The most that they can offer you is a teary goodbye. But they cannot carry you to the end. Only the end can carry you to the end. So do not depend too much on other people. And also do not become cynical. When I say do not depend on other people, I am not saying remain isolated. I am saying have the right relationship. Love is not a relationship of dependence. Have loving relationships, have right relationships. not relationships that exploit, not relationships that seek to extract something from the other. If you extract something from the other, rest assured that the other too is extracting an exactly equal amount from you, maybe in a way that you yet do not figure out. This world in that sense is a very square place. You cannot take anything from anybody without paying an equal amount in some way or the other. There is really nothing called a free lunch. That is the law of duality. If you create 2 units positive charge, you will have to create 2 units negative charge. On the balance sheets, if the asset side increases by 2, the liability side is also bound to increase by 2. You cannot help it. That is this world, that is the law of duality. For every asset, there is a liability. For everything that you build, there is a corresponding destruction. For everything that you take, correspondingly you are giving away something. So, you actually gain nothing ever, nothing ever. That is why the saints have kept advising, they have kept singing. Kindly drop all the hopes that you have from this world. Nobody ever gains even a single paisa from this world. The ones who have stored millions in their accounts, or billions, or whatever number you please, they do not even know what they have given away. Actually, they have gained nothing. It all gets neutralized. If you see a lot of plus somewhere, surely you are missing where there is a lot of minus. And because you are ignorant of the minus, then in your ignorance you keep celebrating that you are the owner of all the pluses. It is nothing but your ignorance. The day you will have a wider vision, a total eye, you will be able to see that everything that you have gained has come at a terrible cost. Getting it? Don't try to gain from someone who is anyway not able to give you. What is right relationship then? Right relationship is not about trying to increase whatever little you have. Right relationship is about giving what you do not have. If you want to get what you do not have, give what you do not have. Please remember this. In this world, you can give only that which you have. But if you can go a little deeper, then real giving consists of giving what you do not have. Spend from an empty pocket. And you will find that your pockets are getting magically filled up. How? You will never come to know. Don't even try to know. Don't ask for support. There is nobody here who can support you. Instead, give support. You will say, but I am myself craving for support. How can I give support? That's what I am saying. Spend from an empty pocket. Give what you do not have. Even if you are supportless, support others. Even if you have nothing, distribute to others. What? Nothing. It's absurd, I know. But see that it is possible. Nobody will be able to dominate you. when you are just giving without expectations. Just give without expectations and give without calculations. If you will calculate, then you will be able to give only a little, because that which you think you have is always little, but that which you really have is immense. That you can distribute recklessly, prolifically, without bothering about keeping accounts. Give and keep giving. Only then you will discover how big you are and how much you can give.